Every project begins as an idea. But ideas are usually too vague to execute. Let's improve sales. Let's grow our brand. Let's run a campaign. These are intentions, not goals. As a project thinker, your first responsibility is to translate ideas into clear, actionable goals. A simple way to do this is to make every goal specific, measurable, and time-bound. Instead of improve sales, you say, increase monthly sales by 20% within the next 90 days by introducing a targeted promotion. Now the team knows exactly what they are working toward. Clarity at this stage removes guesswork later. Here's a hidden problem in most workplaces. People start projects without agreeing on what success looks like. So at the end, even when work is completed, it doesn't feel complete. To avoid this, you must define done from the beginning. Ask, what outcome must be achieved for this project to be considered successful? What metric or result proves that success? What must be delivered before we can say this project is finished? For example, if you're building a website, is it just about launching, or does it also include testing, content upload, and performance optimization? When done is clearly defined, expectations are aligned, and rework is reduced. Every project involves people. And every person comes with expectations, whether they express them or not. Stakeholders are anyone who is involved in, affected by, or interested in your project. This includes your manager, your team, clients, partners, decision makers. One of the fastest ways for a project to fail is unmanaged expectations. So instead of assuming, you clarify early. Ask, what does each stakeholder expect from this project? What matters most to them? How will they measure success? When expectations are aligned early, you avoid conflict later, and you spend less time fixing misunderstandings. And let's simplify everything you've learned into one practical system. Before starting any project, you should be able to answer 5 key questions. What are we trying to achieve? What does success look like? What is included and what is not? Who is involved? When must this be completed? This is your clarity framework. And the best way to document it is through a simple project brief. Think of the project brief as your single source of truth. It doesn't need to be long or complex.
Just one page that clearly outlines the goal, the success criteria, the scope, the stakeholders, and the timeline.
Anytime confusion comes up, you go back to this document. It keeps everyone aligned, it reduces unnecessary discussions, and it makes execution faster. Professionals don't rely on memory, they rely on clarity. At this point, your approach to work should already feel different. You no longer rush into execution, you pause, you ask questions, you define direction. Because you understand this, a well-started project is already halfway completed. And when clarity is strong at the beginning, everything else becomes easier to manage. Now let's put this into practice. Take your idea or workplace problem from Module 1. Create a 1-page project brief using this structure. Project goal, be specific and measurable. Success criteria, define what done looks like. Scope, what is included and excluded. Stakeholders, list key people involved. Timeline, set a realistic deadline. Keep it simple, keep it clear. If you can explain your project on 1 page, you're ready to execute it properly. A manager says, let's launch something for this quarter. The team starts working immediately. Design begins, content is created, meetings happen. Then halfway through, someone asks, wait, what exactly are we trying to achieve? And you can feel the momentum drop. People start second-guessing decisions. Rework kicks in, deadlines slip, and frustration spreads across the team. That is the real lesson. This is not just a work problem, it is a clarity problem.
As we close, remember the core message from this module. Clear goals, clear roles, and clear definitions of success have to come before execution. When that foundation is in place, your team can move with focus and confidence. Before your team starts work, take a moment to align on what success looks like, who owns what, and which decisions are already made. That short pause saves you from weeks of confusion. Clarity first, then action. Use that as your next step today. Set direction early and your team will move faster with less rework and more confidence. Do that consistently and strong execution becomes the norm, not the exception.